We welcome you back to the Two Guys Named Chris show. Our official attorney, Lisa Lanier, is on the line. We have loaded her up with cases today as we go inside the numbers for Lawyer Up. The first story we just talked about, the poor woman from New Jersey, Lori Smith, who has emotional support chickens. I'm on her side. I am on her side.
Because you're emotional.
I'm emotional about it.
And you have a friend who's
has chickens.
Some questionable activities.
Not only does she have chickens, she says that they will sit in her lap and she will stroke them and they will purr. That's how she's gotten to know her chickens. Now, this woman in New Jersey says her homeowners association is forcing her to get rid of her chickens, even though she asked permission to keep them 3 years ago. Lisa Lanier, first of all, hello and how are you?
I'm fantastic and I love the chicken story.
Yep.
And New Jersey actually has very pro-emotional support animal laws, more so than a lot of states. They've recognized, for example, that the Fair Housing Act requires a reasonable accommodation for if you have a documented condition, and they have a New Jersey law against discrimination that recently was required by the courts, required a condo homeowners association to allow an emotional support dog. Well, it wasn't chicken. But I think where this lady got into difficulty was that she has a whole bunch of chickens and a coop. And I think that the emotional support sort of thought, line of reasoning is that you're going to have a domestic pet. It's going to be indoors. I think that's kind of what, right. I think even the HOA contemplated that she was going to have a chicken, not like 5 or 6 chickens. And a coop. And, I think they just weren't thinking that through. I think they thought the chicken was going to live, I don't know, in her house, I guess. Because they told her they did tell her, a representative of the board told her she could have an emotional support chicken, that she just had to get the permission in writing from her neighbors. She did that. She got the chickens, and then bam. She's lost at the lower court level. She says she's going to appeal. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out because New Jersey is very pro-emotional support animal. But I don't know about a whole flock of chickens and a coop. That might be a little different.
That's different. Yeah. Maybe she said, "Can I have a chicken?" And they said yes, and now she's got 5. Right. Maybe what if they made her pick her favorite one, and then you have
to eat the other 4. You got to barbecue.
Okay,
in the cul-de-sac.
We have to have a. Yes, we have to have a fry. Have to have chicken fry.
A fry off
out here in the cul-de-sac, and you get to keep one of your 5 chickens. Man,
apparently chickens are good emotional support animals. I wouldn't think you wouldn't think that, but apparently a lot of veterans work with them for PTSD, and this lady has PTSD. And she's. I posted a picture at what's got to be her favorite chicken because she's all the time holding it in pictures. So
well, there you have it. Well, my friend tells me, my friend uses them for eggs, but she says she's grown unbelievably close with her chickens, and she does the same. She holds them and pets them and strokes them and rubs them.
I find them very comforting.
And Two Wheel Hardo is anti-HOA, saying, look, if you're going to call your neighborhood Sunnydale Acres, you better allow chickens. Yeah. If it's got acres or farms,
happy farms,
a happy farm neighborhood, you've got to have chickens, allow chickens there. I'm pulling for her. I hope it works out for her. Also, I was all over this like a hawk on a rabbit. I can tell you this. Gary Coleman's death. Now, it occurred 15 years ago, but I was watching Inside Edition, and they talked with the woman that Gary Coleman was married to, Shannon Price. They had split by the time he died in 2010, but she was at his home. He fell down the stairs, hit his head, was bleeding. She called 911. They said, put pressure on the wound with a towel. And she said, ew.
Gross.
I'm not doing that.
Her head is bloody. There's blood all over the floor. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened.
The 911 operator tells Shannon to apply pressure to his wound, but she refuses.
I just can't be here with the blood. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't. I've just been kind of sick, and, I don't want to be traumatized.
I'm just not going to be traumatized about this.
No.
I'm sorry.
I'd rather have him just die in front of me.
I just can't do it.
I can't. I just thought he was worth more money than he is. And he's not.
I was just trying to go through his drawers.
Then, now, years later, she was asked, now, people blame you for his death, and she says they don't know what they're talking about.
I did help him. I actually had to run around looking for a towel because we didn't have any in the downstairs bathroom. Other people need to understand and realize this was the first traumatic like real traumatic situation I'd ever had to witness.
Come on. All they had was
I had to use a Hooters beach towel.
That's all he had. That's all he had. Poor man died 2 days later in the hospital. Lisa, what should she have been charged with something for not helping him out?
It's interesting that hardly any charges ever come, out of someone refusing to give first aid.
Yep.
And it's I think almost, and there may be no state where that's illegal, or maybe like 2 states or something where you are required. So no, I mean they don't ever charge people, but and I'm excited to see this Peacock documentary. I haven't watched it yet, but they say that there's other stuff that that the whole fall itself is suspicious because, as one person said, he was like 4 feet tall. He doesn't have very far to fall, right? So,
right. Okay,
yeah.
Is that really?
I mean, that's what literally. That's what
Jack,
one
wait a minute.
said.
Hold it.
But I mean, it's the idea of the bigger they are, the harder they fall, right?
Right.
So they were saying like he was little, and so if he fell, there wasn't like as much, gravity force on him as some people.
Right.
The other thing they said was he had an advance directive in his estate planning documents that said he wanted to be left on life support for 2 weeks. And nothing I could read made it clear who pulled the plug, but somebody pulled the plug in 2 days, not 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness!
Oh.
And
I wonder if it was this lady.
Wow.
But I mean, I can't wait to watch the documentary and find out. I couldn't tell who pulled the plug, but there were a lot of suspicious things about it. And the fact that, so she says he comes home from dialysis. After you have dialysis, you're exhausted. You have to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And she was laying in bed yelling for him to go get her some food. And that's what he did. He was. That's what supposedly he was getting her food in the kitchen when he fell.
What's taking so long?
Right.
How hard is it to make soup, Gary?
I'm on dialysis.
He's on dialysis.
I think America may have a new supervillain here.
I'm telling you, Shannon
Yeah.
Price. I know. He had kidney problems even when he was young. He always had
And
terrible.
that's part of the reason he was so small, right?
I think that's right.
Yeah, that's why.
He had all those issues. I'm kind of interested in this documentary now as well.
Got you written all over, man. You and the wife.
My wife will be all over that for sure, the true crime junkie that she is. How about this, Lisa? This is much more current day. That Delta plane that was flying from Minnesota to Toronto that wound up skidding on the runway, flipping over, catching on fire, and landing upside down. Thank goodness nobody died. Injuries now. They had around 19 or 20 injuries.
The last person left the hospital, I believe, yesterday.
To me, it was like, how lucky, Then we found out a few days later, Delta is offering every passenger on the plane $30,000 to all 76 passengers. No deaths, 21 people injured and taken to the hospital. Our question, Biggie and I both said, done, we'll take it.
Right.
I wouldn't expect anything, honestly. I don't know where my head is, but I would not have expected a thing out of them. Could they sue and get more, or is $30,000 a good deal?
So it's a good deal for some of the passengers, and this is a brilliant thing that Delta's doing. And a lot of insurance companies do this nowadays to a lesser scale. Like if you're in an accident, they try to call you up right away and offer you a couple $1,000s to keep you from making a claim, to keep you from getting a lawyer and going to the doctor and actually figuring out what's wrong with you. And so, and they shut a lot of claims down this way. And so that's kind of what Delta's trying to do here. They're like, and they're saying, like, if you accept the $30,000, it doesn't interfere with your rights to go for more even. They're not even making them sign a release. But I think their reasoning is, if we pay these people $30,000, they're not going to bother with, getting a lawyer and the hassle of making a claim against us. They're just going to go away. Yes. And I do think it's a good, for people who walked away that day and were pretty much fine, I think it's a great deal. I think, fine, take it, avoid the hassle, right, of making a claim. But for the people that were genuinely hurt, it's not a good deal.
Oh, it's not.
Interesting.
No.
So the 21 that were injured could wind up with way more money.
But they'll have to go through the system.
I think they could get more money, but they'll have to make a claim. So it's an easy out for people that really weren't injured but were scared half to death, for a little while.
Yeah. I was upside down.
Yeah. I would take the $30,000. Like let's say
even if you had bad shoulder?
Yeah. Let's say you broke your ankle, or yeah.
Oh no, yeah,
No,
no.
broken bones. I wouldn't take it for a broken bone.
Oh, you wouldn't?
Yeah,
No, I'm
I'd
talking
up
like
that.
no, 'cause- no. I'm talking like you're just sore. You know, you just got checked out.
All right.
Maybe you were, bruised, whatever.
all
You know,
right.
you got some X-rays. Take it and run.
Take it and run.
Yeah.
But you'd go through the hassle, Biggie, if you sprained your ankle, broke your ankle.
Oh yeah, if I broke something, yeah, I'd be looking in the.
Broken, not sprained. I would say broken is the key there.
Well, I mean,
Interesting.
if I just picked up my phone off the ground and walked out of that plane,
Yeah.
give me 30.
But a broken ankle, what are you on crutches for 6 weeks? You
But
know.
still, I think you
get more-
you have
Depends,
bodily
yeah.
injury.
But who do we know whose fault it was? Was it even Delta's fault? And we don't even know yet. You know, would they fight? Let's say you did break your ankle and you wanted $150,000. Would they fight you on it for a couple of years and then say, "Oh, it wasn't even our fault. It was a slippery runway. There was no way we could know."
I think they're probably going to end up. I think they're going to end up settling the more significant injuries for more money. It sounds like they're really wanting to come and shut this down. And you know what's the craziest thing about this is the people that grabbed their carry-on luggage.
They did.
Did they?
Did you see
right.
those people? Yes, there were people. I saw a video. So people were coming out of that plane after being flipped upside down with their carry-on luggage.
Yeah.
On fire, mind you.
On fire. That's
Right, right.
Well, I'm
Well,
always
that doesn't shock me.
well, but you know me, I'm always surprised because you got a lot of video coming off the plane too. It's like, oh, they put their phone on themselves. Oh my God, I just survived a plane. Get out of the plane. You know, it's like I never would think to
Right,
do
stop
that.
taking selfies. Get out of the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You know what I read too? About the reason, part of the reason so many people survived, everybody survived, is because the wings are designed to come off the planes.
I saw the same.
Because if they had stayed on, it might have cartwheeled, I guess.
Right, and caught fire. You know, more the
The fire would have been
spread.
attached to the fuselage.
Exactly. You know, and that they said you see the wings come off and you think it's the worst, but it's really designed that way. And it was the right thing that it came off the plane. Okay, interesting. Lisa's saying, take it if you just walked off with your carry-on, but don't
If you broke your femur,
then go ahead and go for
Get a
one
lawyer.
longer. Here's speaking of getting a lawyer, there is a dentist in Colorado that is ready to consult his because he has attacked an insurance company. He had an 83-year-old patient. The doctor's name is Taylor Ross in Pueblo, Colorado, Pueblo West. Somebody comes in, the 83-year-old, bad teeth. He takes pictures of the teeth. He cleans the teeth. Before he does, he calls Humana, who's the guy's insurance company, and says, now you're going to pay for this cleaning, right? They say, oh, yeah, should be no problem. We'll pay for that cleaning. Well, then they denied the claim. So on his digital billboard outside the office, the dentist put up pictures of the old guy's bad teeth. The grill is there for everybody to see. Then it flips over, and you have a picture of the CEO of Humana and his salary, which was $16.3 million in 2023. And he said, you believe this guy won't pay for this old man's teeth cleaning?
what was the fee for the cleaning?
It was like $400. It was, in the few $100s, and they would not pay it. So, Lisa, has the dentist, done anything wrong? Is he okay legally?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's okay. He's not publishing anything that's not public information. I mean, with the exception of the dude's teeth, which are gruesome looking, but I assume he got his permission to do that.
Right.
But, I wonder what the real impact. I mean, I hope he gets a lot of press about it because it is health insurance denials are terrible. I mean, it's just a rampant problem. It's such a racket. A lot of them are using automated, like AI type software now that gets it wrong a lot of the time. And it's just a big mess. But I don't know how much impact he's having unless he gets a ton of press because he's in the middle of nowhere, Pueblo, Colorado.
Yep.
If you see the images of this dentist, his poor little billboard looks like it. I mean, it looks like there's like hundreds and hundreds of miles before you see another human. And so I don't know how many people are actually seeing this.
Right.
But it's a good thing he's trying to do because he can't do anything about it. Once the claim is denied, the patient has to take up this long, appeals process, and it's complicated. It sounds like this is an elderly guy.
Yep.
His hands don't work. That's why his teeth look so bad. I mean, this guy's not going to be able to fight this. So it's really not. It's terrible.
Now, why doesn't the insurance company just pay this? I mean, it's like $300-400. Come on.
Is there an
Yeah,
option?
and the dentist said he doesn't even want the money. He's going to donate it to the Pueblo, some kind of aid, group for I think dental care for people that don't have insurance.
Yeah.
This may not be an appropriate question for an attorney, but can doctors just say, "Hey, look, this one's on me. You need this type of help. You can't do this for
That's
yourself."
what this guy's doing unless he goes after him for the bill, which he's not going to do.
Right,
I mean, he's
right.
essentially going to eat this. But I mean, how, it's just, and there's all these people are commenting about this is why Luigi did what he did. It's just the whole system is.
She said the name.
You
said
I did.
Move to strike.
Luigi. I said Luigi.
I know you did.
But I mean, it is one. And these, $16.3 million this guy is paid.
I know.
To, deny.
That is our dental company here as well.
We full disclosure, we use Humana, and I don't like it.
Dental and vision, right?
That's right. And Lisa, I don't like it when salaries are brought up.
Right.
No.
Certainly not on a billboard.
It's nobody's business.
No.
Nobody's business how much money somebody makes per year.
No, we don't want that talk.
That's what I'm talking about. It makes me pucker when I hear something like that. Chris Stem told me on this next story, he said, warning, some radio hosts will pucker too much at the sight of this story and cannot handle it. It's true. It's a woman who is suing her IVF clinic because, and her name is Christina Murray, they're from Georgia, pregnant after IVF treatment at a coastal fertility clinic, the Coastal Fertility Clinic in May of 2023. It became clear the embryo she had been carrying belonged to another couple when they gave birth to a boy of a different ethnicity to both her and the sperm donor she had chosen. So when the baby came out and they were like, no, this
is this yours?
No, this is somebody else's baby. Ms. Murray is a white woman, gave birth to a black baby in December of 2023. Now she's had to give up the baby, and it is a huge issue. She's going to win this lawsuit.
To whom? The rightful parents?
Exactly.
The biological parents.
The biological parents. So she's going to win this lawsuit, I'm sure, in an easy way.
Big time.
Yes.
Big time. Yeah, the poor lady. I mean, she got very attached to this baby, and she wanted to keep it. But the biological parents were notified that, hey, we accidentally put your fertilized egg in this lady, and so they went after it, and so she's gone through all this, got attached to this baby, now no baby for her. And and it wasn't, I mean, it was a very dark-skinned baby. I mean, it wasn't like she could even think, well, maybe this just pulled some Native American from my heritage or something. You know what I mean? It was clearly there was no way that this was anything but,
I'm puckering like you wouldn't believe. Lisa, I am so puckered right now. As Biggie would say, I'm whistling. I'm puckered so bad right now. These are issues I do not like to touch. This woman had a dark-skinned baby. Should she even, because she kept the baby for how long? 5 months before they
6 months, I think.
Yeah. So it's what should they have done? Should they have just said, look, this ain't your baby. That is not your baby. So because she now over the 5 or 6 months has gotten really attached to this child. It's terrible.
I wondered if she just didn't say anything, you know what I mean? Because she had to notify the clinic that they'd made a mistake. So, I mean, if she just hadn't said anything, maybe nobody would have ever known. I don't know if the other couple would have ever figured out that their egg was missing, or if the clinic would have figured it out and told them. But
right. I bet the clinic would have stayed quiet. They wouldn't want this out there.
And it says here the reason for you returning this child: color, size, color. All right.
Wrong. I mean, and she wasn't even like that. I mean, she really wanted to keep this baby.
That's right. Your Honor, I am uncomfortable. I moved for a recess on account of uncomfortability. I do not care for these types of topics. Oh my goodness! So what does she get? Does she get a bunch of money and then?
She's going to get a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And these fertility clinics, there's zero regulation, and they just they can sort of categorize or catalog and store these things however they choose. And some of them, from what I've read, are pretty rudimentary.
Oh man,
they've
I
got
didn't
little
realize.
labeled boxes or whatever. So it's it's not a regulated industry, and a lot of people are calling for it because this happens a lot where you get these mix-ups.
Yeah.
Oh my!
It seems like there should be in something this sensitive, this personal. I mean, it's life.
Yeah.
There should be regulation. These are babies being born. There should be some regulation. Well, the man in the White House is all for regulation, so let's see what happens with this.
And he's pro IVF.
He is. Yeah. He is pro IVF. That's exactly right. All right, Lisa. Wow, what a segment, from chickens to babies and everything in between. Thank you, as always. Fantastic job.